Okay, good afternoon. I'm here with Miss Gordon, and she's the principal of
Bob Marley
Bob
Primary.
Marley Primary and Junior High
Yes,
here
it
in
is.
St. Anne.
Yes.
And I'm Ray Johnson. I'm from All Loyal Voices Association, and just stopping by to say a quick hello, meet the principals of the different primary schools that fall under the umbrella of All Loyal Voices Association.
Right.
So we'll go off with Mrs. Gordon. I want you to just give us your introduction and a quick overview of your knowledge of All Loyal Voices Association and how impacting on or how is this beneficial to your school.
All right. My name is Rose Gordon. As Mr. Johnson indicated, Principal Bob Marley Primary and Junior High. I came in contact with All Loyal Voices, not only since I'm in the position, but prior to. What I know about All Lawyers Voices is that it is an organization that seeks to assist students who are in need, students who are going off to high school, and they are assisted with different things like books and bags that are very essential to them for high schools. It is a very good organization because many students here have benefited from it. Even students that are not going off to high schools have benefited because there are been situations where students, smaller ones in the grades, smaller grades, have gotten bags, some nice bags, and they have had those bags to take back to primary school. So it is a good organization and it is very beneficial to the students.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Gordon, I know this is our first meet, but we have had chats on Zoom. And have you, since our last chat, came up with any kind of idea as to the selection process? Because we were having some problems in the selection process, based on how things are weighted. Um, we, the overall the intention of the organization is to give back to the needy, but at the same time, someone who has the capability of promoting education, working in an educational environment. So we had some challenges, because sometimes it may go to the person who is more needy, but at the same time the promise is not there for that person to go through the process. So it has to be some kind of balance. So
Yes.
have you arrived at any formula that we can use to move this forward?
I've been thinking about it since I've been in the group and seeing where questions have been asked about the selection process, and even on Zoom meetings, as you indicated about questions being asked about the process. What I think should happen, because in truth and in fact, if you are given to a student or needy student, yes, being needy is good, but then you want to have that student who will perform when that student go to high school and will be able to not only perform as they go to grade 7. You want that student to be a shining light throughout from grade 7 right to grade 11, and even when that child sits CXE, that child will be one of the top students, and you can say, well, this child was sponsored to get in this school by All Loyal Voices. So what I think should happen, Mr. Johnson, I think it's not just to have a needy, say a needy student, but also to set a criteria where the student going off to high school will have to maintain a particular average or GPA, if you want to say. So the student has to say maintain a B average during high school, and once that student does not maintain that average, then that student will not if it's something that goes with them to high school. I'm not sure if it goes right through high school, but if that student is not performing, then that student will not be eligible to continue on the scholarship.
Yeah, well, for now we have only been working with the high school intern student, but it's our intention.
Okay.
This is something that's on the table
Okay.
for us to, give them the full right.
Right.
That's why we want to come up with, something that you just mentioned.
Right.
Do I see that promise? You have to
Yes,
see that
yes,
promise in the
yes.
student, and as long as that can be determined, then we can work with that student.
Yes.
However, I'm still thinking out again. There may be situations
Yes.
where students are equally potential, equally qualified.
Yeah.
How do you go about? What ways do you use to determine one over the other? Everything may just be
Okay.
a mirror image of the other.
Yes, I believe that you will find that sometimes where students sit the PEP exam, now we are using PEP, and you will find that they have the same grades. So then, and they are both needy students. But then, I would say you will have to go more than that. A student who is needy, when you see that case, you're going to look for the one who is needy, yes, and the one who has performed, but the one that person should also be rounded.
Okay.
So it's not only academics, the person should be rounded, a rounded student. So you say a bright student, but also have something athletics and be involved in supporting activities and all that. Be a part of all the clubs and activities in the school. So that would be a prominent student. You would have to probably use that to separate the two students.
Yeah, because you do need a differentiator. You need something to differentiate them.
Right.
And one person had mentioned about the personality of the student, because you may have a very bright student, but the personality is not going to get that person too far. So you have to look into other things, as you said, a very rounded person.
Right.
That
and
that
discipline
would
be
be
a part of
captured.
it. Discipline too,
Discipline,
helpful.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
those you have
Yes.
to go all to look for characters that show that the child is a rounded child in all areas.
Yes, yeah.
Right. Because
Yeah.
I know that it sometimes happens where you have students, as we say, tied. And then it's a challenge to say who should.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen situations like that where two students are equally they have the same grades, they're needy, but there are other things that have to be taken in consideration for the differentiation.
Yes.
To differentiate, because as you say, it's limited. The support is limited, so somebody's going to be left out there.
Right. And you could also have when you identify 2 or 3, you should take them through an interview process.
Exactly. So
Let them talk about themselves.
So, yeah, one person
and say how they will benefit, or what they will do to ensure that they continue on the path of success in high school.
Exactly. There could be an interviewing process
Right, an interview process.
for the elimination. One
Could be
person.
the parent, you could interview the parent along with the child. Because sometimes you have to, they are both good. But then, based on feedback from the parent, you say, this parent, as if they would push this child more than this parent.
Exactly.
So you see where the parents, but some students have natural ability, where they're not being pushed by the parent. Parent don't care less. But you have some where the parent is the driving force behind the child.
Yeah.
So you also have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, that was like me. If I had not been for my grandmother, I would have stopped.
Yes,
I was always pushed. But yes, that's a very good thought there that I want to take back to the table. So that's why I'm kind of getting information from you guys. What are your thoughts? And I'll take these feedback back to the group in New York, and what happens though, it's left up to you. That part of the selection process, that part is on you.
Yes,
It's not.
yes.
The only bad thing about this is that somebody will get my number and say, "Oh, it's not fair."
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
Yes.
because, you understand.
Right.
So,
Put you on
so
the spot.
yeah, and I said, I do. You have to check with the principal. You have to
Yes.
because they are the ones. I don't know the parents. I don't know the children. I don't know anybody.
Right. But if the groups, as we say, think about all the things that we have mentioned and try to put together a criteria so that when they send that criteria to us and say the child has to go through this, then if we have to come together and put it together, but then we have something that is standard,
Exactly.
something that is standardized.
Standard. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know that we are working with this criteria. So we say, okay, mom, you are here, three of you are here, this is the criteria.
Exactly.
This is what they have to do.
This is what you're following. This is the
So then you
guideline.
agree to this because this is what we have to follow. And sometimes by doing that, you will have less persons calling you and saying it's not fair. But when there's not, we don't have something standardized and something to show, then they will be always calling.
Yeah.
Just like when you set the rules, and you say, okay, these are the rules. So if the child does X, this is what will happen. Then they will call, but then you present it. Here it is.
Exactly. That's a good idea. You know, you have, you know, common criteria throughout all the different schools. Like, you know, that information is socialized. So this is the guideline. This is what we use.
Right.
You know, we can't go beyond this. Although I may be sympathetic in this area, but this person does not fit into this, you know, description, this criteria. So in this criterion, so you know, that's something we need to have like something draft up, put something together and send out to the principals at the school and say, look, and of course you guys have to be an integral part of what we're going to be using, you know, because remember, you're on the ground.
Yes.
You know, so you have to make the decisions, and then we just put it together at our location, send it out, and say, look, this is what meets, and if anything beyond that, then you know there is a problem.
Right.
You know, because I've seen situations where they say lightning don't strike at the same place twice, but I've seen people from the same family get it right behind one another, and you know, I'm saying, is that any kind of, I don't know. I've also seen grandchild of a principal who got it, and you know, it's not something that I wonder if that's really fair or whatever.
Okay, but for the family, you know, you have some family there, the school, the students, the children are just bright, and they will always come out on top. So for that, I don't think I would agree that if one family gets it 3 years in a row, I don't think they should be prevented because they worked for it.
They work for it. That's
what I wouldn't want to do is personally for my granddaughter and my niece or nephew. So what you could also have, just like when you have it in competitions where they say persons are not eligible to enter, you could have that aspect of it where you say grandchild or persons related to the principal are not eligible to enter. You could have that part.
Yeah, because
just thinking brainstorming ideas. You could have that part as a criteria. So persons might say, "Wow, why am I left out?" But then, because think about it. If persons know that if first you have 6 schools and there's 6 grandchildren of the principal or 6 niece or nephew of the principal, then you will have persons starting to say that it is geared towards the principal, even though we know that it's not, you know. So then probably that should be placed in that are not eligible. It seems unfair, but it's to give persons a chance of looking at on the whole aspect of the foundation of being unbiased.
true.
Because once it is linked to the leader or friends and family of the foundation, then they are going to say it's bias. So you want to move it away from that. So you could have that part of it.
Yeah, and that's when we started, right? Of course, it still exists. We say nobody with the last name Nevins. You wonder why I say that, because I'm Johnson. But my family name, my mother's family, you know, because my sister got my mother's name.
Yeah, okay.
We're Nevins, and most Nevins people are related because it's not a very common name.
Okay.
You know, so I said nobody with the last name. If you're related and I don't know, then that's okay. But I don't want anybody with the last name of Nevins because that can be a problem.
Yes.
And remember, I'm not the only person who is involved. There are several people involved, and the first thing that's going to be jumping out at them, they say, "Wait, that got to be your family."
Yes, it's geared towards.
Yeah.
But we had that situation here, you know, where a child, Nevins, she I think she got it eventually. Because I don't Miss Nevins wasn't sure they were related, but then it's a brilliant child, and the child is in dire need. And without the help, the child could not have moved on.
Exactly.
And I understand the child is doing well still.
Yeah, I've actually met that child.
She could not even, her mother could not even say choose for a school, another school. And even Frankfurt, she was hesitant because she was thinking of whatnot because of the fee. I think Brownstone whatnot fee at the lowest. So she was thinking we had to say to her, no, I would get help, man. You know, so that can be really a challenge.
Yeah,
but then,
it
as
was.
you say, it's not. The foundation is not just geared towards your family. You say others are in it, so it will seem that if you're trying to be biased using your family, and we know people think. I understand why you say you're trying to erase that.
Yeah. Because one person came up from Kearney, from Clydesdale School, and the name was Nevin. But it's spelled a bit different. There's no S at the end. And people were questioning, you know, if it's for family, it shouldn't be, that shouldn't be a problem. If you're poor, you're poor.
Yes, yes, I understand. But
if you're poor, and if you're bright, you're bright.
But then when you will always have, as a group, when you have a group, and it's not totally family related, you always have people questioning. And you want to move that. You want to move the persons starting to doubt. You don't want to move that away from the group, because if it's an organization where you have persons pulling, then you don't want to have persons pulling out.
Sorry,
So I think that it is, unfortunately, people don't give themselves, children don't give themselves the last name, but if that has to be a criteria, it just has to
be one, yeah.
Or it could be that it could be said that the child cannot be a Nevins once it can be proven that the child is related. That could be an aspect of it to pull that part, you know? So once it is proven that the child is related, then it will be taken back. So persons who know they are related would probably say to you, Miss, I can't take it because we are related. So you get honesty, probably people coming out. And they know that you are going to take it back.
That makes sense.
So you can think about it.
Yeah. I'm just gathering information, and that's why I keep it on the video. Right. I don't have to be writing things down. When you go back, you can always look and come up, pop up, the ideas will pop up, and you can put things together. But it's a good venture. Trust me, it's a good venture. It's really, really a good venture. Because the children that I'm sorry, I don't have any picture where they took the bags. They were lined up here. Okay.
They took the picture of the bags, and they took the bags to school. Right. So I remember 2 parents came and said to me, when I came, you don't have any more of these bags that the children.
People still asking me for bags even now.
And I said to her, no, we don't have any more. They were given by Mr. Ray Johnson, and we don't have any more.
Yeah, people still asking us.
Right, but it is a good venture. It's really a good venture. Some persons might actually. So how do you go about it? Is it that they have to take the books, right? Associated with the fund.
Well, I have my that's my personal conviction is that if there are people who have pass-me-down book, then they wouldn't need the entire
No,
package.
no, they wouldn't.
They
That's what I was
wouldn't,
thinking too.
you know, they wouldn't need the entire package. So I think, you know, there has to be some kind of conversation because
Yes.
let's take, for example, I have half of the book. Then the other half of it should be half of the
Right.
contribution should be going to that person.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So
think about that.
you know,
Yes.
that's the part. But we want them to have the resources to go into school.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
We really need for them to. We don't want to. You know, you have to look at it from this standpoint as
Yeah.
well. We don't want to throw the money at you and it's used, it's channeled somewhere else.
Yes.
You know, it has to be like paying probably your bus fare, your this, your that, whatever. The books, at least those are satisfied. If you can satisfy the book list, then that's good. But there may be and there must be situations where you have a brother or a sister who went on before you and have some of these books.
Right.
So if they have these books, then those wouldn't be needed.
No. Those wouldn't be because it would be a waste.
Yeah, it would be a
Because I
waste.
already have the book.
Yeah.
So then why do I need to get another set? Because some do get handed down books. But as you said, I agree because some parents we know parents and we have parents who are dedicated to educating their children, but we know we still have the ones who we call them they don't care less.
Exactly.
The students are bright and they will just perform because they are brilliant. But you know we have the parents who will take the money and do otherwise.
Exactly.
So there has to be a system as you would have had it now where that money is monitored.
Yeah, it has
Because
to
some will take it and before you know you hear that the child is not going to school because the child don't have this and that. And then it would defeat the purpose
It defeat
of
the
the
entire purpose.
organization. So it has to be monitored, but as you said, if they have a part of it, but then you have to come up with another strategy as to how that will they have half of the books or that other half. That half money will be
Yeah, it has to.
used.
Whatever is
Yes.
left over should go to them,
Right.
even if they're going out there to buy the entire book list. Whatever is left over should go to
yes,
them.
right. You said $1.
Yeah, it should go to them
Yes.
because that's theirs.
Right.
You know, that's theirs. It should go to them. So I'm gonna have to talk to everybody again, you know, on a conference bridge, on a Zoom call, you know.
Yes,
Just
right.
everybody thinking in the same
Space.
way. Yes, yeah. And you know, these ideas that are passed around will be socialized and
Yes.
you know, if you want to tear something down, you tear something down.
Yes,
if you want to
right,
build something
right.
up, you build something
Right.
up.
Because you see, you want to know that at the end of it all, is the students benefit and they see this organization as an organization that really, really comes to rescue them.
Yeah, I want them to be looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I want them to be looking
And
forward to
when
it.
you say to them, when you say to like, for example, we have another set of grade 6, we tell them about it. We have this, if you work students to get good grades, especially when grades can't afford it, and you work, you have an organization that is propelled by Mr. Ray Johnson, that you can get your books and so work. So you want, when you tell them that, and somebody who probably have gone through it before, say, I had half the books and it's only half I got, and then some negative thing come across. You don't want that. You want to erase that.
Yeah.
So as I said, you have to come up with some criteria and have a structured approach, structured thing to say that this is how it is done.
Exactly. And you know,
And we
there are
know
things
the parents that we deal with.
Yeah.
Somebody who said the parents in the hills, they might think different from, not all of them, from those on the coast where we don't want to discriminate or not discriminating, but some of them in the different areas, they think differently. And they will look on the fact that I have half of the books already, why am I going? So sometimes they will not even go. Because I think that way, you know, they will not even go. So it has to be, as you said, structure that they get some of the money.
Yeah,
Right.
they have to do that. So, other things, what's the overall, how is the school going? Are things like going well?
Like, you know,
The overall, the general operation?
with the education is educating students in the primary school or schools is always a challenge. We have students here right now who are needy, and where you have lunch is concerned, that is a challenge. But we are working to get some persons to assist them. Overall, we have challenges with infrastructure. We have challenges with students. You know, they're not totally, what we say, outright indisciplined, but you don't have one to us. And then you have those who come from the homes where there is no, they don't have that focus on education. You might have, you have been in the area, you know, you probably have gone to a different school. When we know we have parents who are like, they just send them to school.
Yeah, they just
say,
think
just
it's
get
something
out.
to do. That's it. Get out of the house, go to school.
Go to school, and they only manage to 7 days per week. We just get them out. So we have that. But overall, we have had situations where we have had low numbers, but the numbers are getting back up now. We have parents with that still the mentality who will say that if you try to discipline your child, the children will say, I'm going to take him out tomorrow morning. You know, people have that mentality. But overall, it's not 100%, but we are fighting the challenges. We are facing them.
But it's an uphill battle.
We can't give up. We have to put hands on heart together and fight. The focus is mostly on the children, and once we can get them to learn, that is the key thing. Get them to learn and get them to move away from that. We have that in becoming like some of the communities. You know, we have the persons that quick money mentality, and some of them will go to tell you because they say, I don't need to go through all this road now, because I can be in a chopper. So you have those to deal with you, because you have, you know, those students, you have to have good, a good role model to come in and say to them, you don't have to go that route, you can go this route.
Of course.
Yes, right, you have to have that. But,
I've had students say, oh, my father drives this kind of car. I'm talking to the States, and why are you, if education is that good, why are you driving?
we have had it here. We have had it here. Students saying to teacher, specific students said it to the teacher, and the teacher was like, yes, and I had to call him and say to them, this is it now. Education will take you beyond where to take the chopper. Because I had to use a chopper. But they say you will chop the line. But I had to show him the dangers of doing that. You don't live a free life. You always have to be looking over your shoulder when somebody's coming at you. And I had to show him some other things where, you know, sometimes they are being used and all sort of stuff. So that they can sort of sit down now and start to really do something. And I'm talking about a child in grade 6.
Okay.
And the challenge, a child in grade 6. Because, and what he said to me one day, he seems to have family members. So he said, I was sitting by the phone, and my relative was calling the phone because they want me to pick up. That's what he said. They want me to pick up. And I wake up and I look on the phone and say, I'm not picking up. And then I said, Mrs. Gordon told me that I don't have to do this. And he's like, he's battling. And then he said, when I was finished with my work that I was supposed to take home, I took up the phone and said to me, so why not answer the phone? How many times I tell you that this is a good way and you will get some quick money and you can buy this and buy that.
That's the coming from the parent.
That is coming from relatives who are in it. And he said that he took in the work, because he had to resist going on the phone because they are using him now, training him, you know. So he had to resist that to get the work done. As I said, it's challenging, but we are fighting it.
Oh, yes.
One thing though, we don't have that absenteeism as probably back in the days where we have them not come like today and you have to see them tomorrow. We don't have that on a regular basis anymore. That is it. And you know, that's why we are glad for years because we know the resources the ministry has a lot of schools to fund. So the government is always saying they don't have any money. So we have to seek places to get resources in. That's what we are fighting to get there. We are not where we want to be because we want to be in a situation where we can get the parents to start thinking education. We need this. My child needs this to survive. That is what we are going to focus on. That is what we want to get. That's where we want to get the parents to think along that line. Because if they are on board with you, then you have less challenge.
Great. It's good. It's nice again chatting with you. So I have to go and meet the Higgins Land crew now. So
Okay.
you know, nice seeing you face to
Nice
face.
visit, yes, nice meeting you. And I really I'm proud of you having that organization going.
Thank
And we
you.
look forward to, if it is even one thing we can announce in school living is that
Yes, please do. Please let it be known.
we always
Yeah, please.
right, when Miss Nevins come, she always come in and we allow her to announce it. And if it's the one thing you can say a child can benefit from, you know that you can depend on that. So I hope and trust that it will continue and you will get the strength and the energy to go on, and your team will see the importance of having it continue.
Thanks a lot. Yes. Thanks a lot. And again, nice meeting you. Nice meeting you.
Right. Safe journey.
Yeah.